Hey everyone, it's me Laura from The Papered Soul. Welcome back to my channel and welcome back to episode 8 for my Make a Journal with Me sunflower series. So I'm making a sunflower journal from start to finish on camera, trying to do most everything on the camera with you so that you can just see the process and, you know, just see how I approach making a journal and putting it together. I know sometimes creating a journal can be probably overwhelming, especially for, you know, new people that have just discovered it and they, you know, might feel overwhelmed. When you see people doing flip throughs and you see all the different elements that someone has included in their journal, it can seem like, oh my gosh, where do I start? So that's why I just thought I would do this, and plus I've actually had a lot of fun. It's been a lot of fun doing this with you all, and I really appreciate everyone that's been so supportive, that's subscribed, that's making comments. Thank you to all my subscribers that have been with me for a long time, and the new subscribers that are coming along as well. I really appreciate it, that have joined in with us, and I really do appreciate it so much. So anyway, let's try to get started. I'm still working on elements for my journal, and the thing about it is I basically just keep flipping through pages and, you know, kind of let the journal tell me what it needs. I know that sounds crazy, and I do a lot of flipping through and something might not hit me for a while, and then finally there'll be a page where it'll hit me on what I want to do with it. But seriously, I do let the journal tell me when it's done. Although this journal has gotten very, very thick so far, it's not done. Not for me. It'll tell me. I still have some things to do. And you'll know along with me when I know. If you're watching this series, you'll know when I know that it's done. Okay, so I want to just pick up where we left off. I will say this is a sunflower kit from Artymaze. It's called Sunflower Bloom. It is beautiful, colorful, bright, and cheery. In the first episodes, I've kind of talked, first couple of episodes, I talked about the papers I use, what I print on, what printer. Well, I don't know if I told you what printer I use. I actually use an inkjet, and it is, it's a Canon Pixma, and I think it's MG, I can't remember the code, the model number. I actually am going to try to get a new, I love this printer. I don't want to have to get a new printer, but I don't have an ink plan with it. And these kits do use up ink, and the ink that you get is not just from the store. They don't put much ink in those anyway. So I do want to get, you know, an ink program, and I can do that with a new printer. So I'm gonna have to bite the bullet and buy a new printer. I've been thinking about it for quite some time now, and still need to do the research as to which one, but Hewlett-Packard, I believe, is the one that has the ink program. So that's going to be changing for me. But my printer now does beautiful, and I do print out on presentation paper. I do hope you will watch this from start to finish, because I think it's fun to kind of, so start from the first episode on, and take your time with it. Get yourself a cup of peppermint tea or coffee or whatever your favorite beverage is. I'm gonna take a sip. But, you know, just sit back and let it be a series that you watch just for pure enjoyment, relaxation when you're ready to put your feet up. But it's fun to watch something come together, you know, and just to kind of see what has to happen to make it come together. Okay. So, the first thing I want to do, only because I want it to go ahead and be drying, is I'm going to do I'm going to come back to that page, but what I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and make a guest check pocket. It's an element that I want to put in here into the journal. I just thought it would be fun, and I kind of have in mind what I want to do. And so I'm just gonna set that back for now, and let's just get going on it. So I'm gonna go ahead and start with inking the edges of my guest checks. Oh, and also, I think what I'm going to do, I do sell these in my shop, along with many other journal supply shops. Along with many other journal supplies, craft and journal supplies, and I also sell my journals there, but it's the Papered Soul on Etsy, and lots of journal supplies for you, so take a look if you get a chance to stop by there. I'll put that in the link below. Also going to put the link below for the beautiful sunflower bloom kit that I'm working with by Artymaze, and I will put her link in there so that you can go and check out her digitals. And, you know, make sure you pick this one up because it's just too pretty and gorgeous and summery and lovely and vibrant. It's too all of the above to not go and pick it up. And make sure you have that one. It's a classic. And, you know, she's got so many other beautiful kits too. So I hope you'll get a chance to do that. I'm going to take these little tabs off. They're perforated, these little numbers, and I could probably do something fun and random with those later. Now, I might not do it in this journal, but if I feel moved to do so, we'll find out. Might could do something fun with those. I'll just have to think on it. And if you've been watching me so far, you know I do, that's my kitty cat getting out of the window. You know that I do have to do a lot of thinking about my stuff. I have to ponder, I have to consider, and I do all of that. So I sleep on it before I make my decisions and stuff like that. It's just how I roll. So I'm just gonna ink, and I'm inking with my Distress Ink Vintage Photo. You can use any other color you want. He's got lots of colors. Tim Holtz, your friend and mine. And so we're just gonna get this inked up on the sides. I've realized, okay, so like I have some elements that I'm wanting to work on that we're gonna be continuing working on today. And then I'm gonna be pretty close. There might be maybe only a few other little things if I don't get it in the video today before we're about ready to get to actually, oh, my butterfly fell, hold on. To the point where we're actually able to put the embellishments and decorate and do things like lace and ribbons and bling and things like that. So we're getting close, we're getting close. So I think what I'm gonna do, I wanna make a guest check pocket, and I'm going to collage on it, but what I'm gonna do first is glue this on, because I want there to be, since it's gonna be a pocket, I want another layer, and I'm using coffee dye paper that I had previously dyed, and I'm going to glue this to it so it'll be a secure, sturdy pocket. Guest checks are really fun to do different things with. There's so many things you can do with guest checks that are creative and enjoyable. So my main thing today is to get it put together for you, and then probably in my other episode, either the next one or two episodes, I'll be doing the embellishing on it. So that's this one. I'm just gonna go on and put it flush to the edge, even. And I hope everyone's having a great day. It's a Sunday, kind of partly cloudy here. So I hope the light is good. I think it'll be out. Oop, that's not what I want to do. You see, I almost messed up. Okay, so I glue that on, and then what I'm wanting to do is fold this, crease it even, and I want to get it right over that edge, because there we go. And what I'll do is just cut this like this. If you have not subscribed yet, please, I would love it if you would become a new subscriber for my Papered Soul, the Papered Soul, here on YouTube. And if you like my video, please like. You can hit the bell and you can get notified anytime I release a new video. And I'm going to just go ahead and ink the inside. My little sponge is getting really worn out. But it still works. Okay, so now what I'm going to do is we're going to take, so that's what I have so far. Okay, that'd be cute to make like a little booklet out of it or anything like that. I'm going to glue this one on the back of it here. Get my I think I'm going to have to try to really be pushing myself because our year is running out. And so what I think I'm going to try to do is really push myself and just dive into projects and stuff. And that's what I want to do anyway, if time will allow. So there we go. That makes the perfect little seam or binding there space with, you can just see a peak, just a small peak of the seam there, the middle, and that is nice. What I'm going to end up doing with this is I'm going to end up sewing here, here, and here. And I also, when this gets dry, I may edge punch that. So we'll just see. We'll just see. All right, what I'm going to do is I'm going to collage. And I went to Tuesday mornings, not yesterday, but the day before, and found me some pretty little napkins. But you know what I was looking for? I was looking for sunflower napkins, but I did not find any. They had some plates there with a design on them with sunflowers, but this is just a pretty little little bird, almost like a watercolor look. It's got butterflies and some flowers, and I don't see sunflowers on here, but where there are sunflowers, there's other flowers, and I just thought that I, wanted to kind of break that up a little bit. The page I'm going to put this on, I think it will blend really well with what I have on the other side, so that layout will just blend really well together. Take a sip. It's fun to sip on something warm when you're crafting. Now I'm trying to decide, I guess if I punch it, I'll decide to do that later. All right, so I took the other 2 layers of the napkin off, and this happened to come off really easy, so I didn't even have to prompt it or anything, so that was nice. And all of these are the same in each little quadrant, so for the first one to work with, I'm just going to cut the square and then just start playing with that. One of my favorite things to do is to collage. I have loved collage ever since I was in school, like high school, even junior high, even into college. I have always loved collaging, and it's just really fun to do. So with my guest check, if I were to tear that off like that, which is what I may do, is like do them in the corners on this side. As long as you make sure you can still see, it's fun because you will be able to see the guest check there underneath. So what I'm going to do, I'm just going to keep that flush there, and I'm going to tear it at the corner here and kind of come in just kind of come at an angle like a triangle with it. And it doesn't have to be perfect. Don't want it to be perfect. So let's go ahead and put that on. And I'm using Mod Podge, and it is matte. Now I know you can use glue sticks. I don't know. Oh, I hope I can get into it. I didn't think about that. I'm gonna have to go open this. Hold on. All right, I'm back. That went bad. I had to use my little squeegee from the kitchen to get into that. Okay. So what I'm gonna do is lay this out like that so I don't get glue on the other side. So let's just get going on this. But you can use a glue stick. A lot of people do that. I just like, maybe I just like the brushing on of this. I don't know. So I'm gonna kind of come and get it started in the corner a little bit. And get some of that Mod Podge going there. And that way I'll just come in and line it up and get it going. Smooth it. And then I'll peel back and just kind of go at it like that. Just smooth it down, and I'm putting a thin coat, you know, I'm not just being real easy with it, not too much glue or Mod Podge. And then you just put a little bit over the top, if you want to. I don't know that you have to. I mean, there's no hard and fast rule with this, but sometimes that'll help kind of adhere it good. But yeah, this is really relaxing and a lot of fun. Now I could leave it like that if I wanted to. And I have that first one like that, which might be cute. I gotta figure out what to do with those tabs. Or I could come down here and also in this corner do that little bird. So, I could put this little butterfly down here. Just have a little something extra instead of just both corners like that. But that is cute. Because I want to do a little something different over here. So I could just leave that like that and do this like this. And I could, let's see. What I could do is tear this and maybe tear some of this white off. Just doesn't really have anything, and you don't have to do that because like you're going to be able to see through to the guest check even if I don't do this. Just tearing some of that off, and then up here I want to tear because I want this part up here to kind of look a little just organic. That's the word. That's the word. And not like it's just cut off, you know. So let's do that. Pretty. So I'm going to start down here where I have a good amount that I can get going. Just like that. And then come in here with the rest. But this is relaxing. I mean, oh my gosh, I just could sit here with my paintbrush and napkins all day. Okay. You can just decoupage onto anything. I also have some like card catalog, library card catalog cards that are just blank and have like a little hole in them that you could tie a ribbon. Those would be fun to kind of do some collaging with. I've got another color of the guest checks, and I also have the alterations tags, and I have regular tags like I worked with yesterday in yesterday's episode, which was episode 7. So we'll do that. And this coat over the top just kind of helps soak through and, you know, kind of adheres it and maybe kind of flattens out some of the little bubbling that you might have if it doesn't feel smooth. So that is perfect. And this I thought about, I tore that off, and this has some words on it. I thought I might just put this kind of maybe off to the side, or do I do? Maybe there. Maybe here, because I kind of like that tax and total and that kind of really showing through there. So I'm just kind of covering just a little bit. So that way I utilized the entire quarter of that napkin. Now I did have a couple of little small, really just that one for the most part. Let's see. Would I need to put that anywhere? Sometimes you just play with it and just see, you know, if you did add it, would it add anything to it? Would it make it interesting? It's kind of interesting there. Let's do it. So just put it like that. Okay, so we got that done, and let me get my lid on this. And you know, when you do a video, you kind of have to, I'm doing mine not in my craft room, and so only because I have a little more room, and I may end up moving myself to that. But see, I even came prepared with my little jar of water for my brush because I wanted to get this done first. And I think what I'm gonna do is take this napkin and just wipe off the excess of my brush. But I wanted to get this one, the collage part, done first so that it can be drying while I'm doing other things in the video. And so I didn't want my brush to get ruined. So I thought I'd try to clean it here instead of getting up. Now, if y'all want to share with me, if y'all do editing of videos and y'all want to share with me how y'all edit, I have done that before, but it's been so long since I've done it. And I'm sure there's probably some easier ways to edit a video now. So if y'all want to share some of what y'all might do in your videos, I would love to hear it, and maybe I can start doing some of that. In other words, I could have edited out the fact that I needed to go and get a squeegee to get my Mod Podge lid off. So, you know, I could edit that out instead of, you know, just things like that. And, you know, people can get fancy with it. You know, I can put maybe a picture of Figgy up, or my Louie or Pippin or Chloe up for you, or, you know, I know you can be more fun and creative when you're like that. So I think I got that pretty good. Okay, so we're gonna let this be drying, and I think that's adorable. And so, like I say, I'll be coming in and sewing this closed, and then I'm gonna have it as a little pocket here. And I may, once it's dry, I'll make a decision as to whether or not to edge punch that, which I'm thinking that I will. And I'll probably be doing some embellishing of this one in my future video, next 1 to 2 videos. So we're gonna let this be drying. I'm just gonna put it to the side. But you can see how much fun that is. And you know, you could make a booklet out of this, or, you know, you could sew this and this side and do a, you know, a top pocket. There's just all kinds of things. You can cut them and use them as journal cards, but, you know, just any old thing, any ideas. And see, that's how the ideas start coming to you, is by doing things. The only hard part about that is sometimes if you don't feel like doing, you know, you want to craft, but you don't feel like it. I don't know how to describe that. It's kind of a frustrating feeling, because to want to do it, but you just don't feel like doing it. I don't know if that makes sense. But anyway, okay, so that was the first one, and I'll show you when that is dry what page I'm going to be putting that on. So the next thing is we're going to be decorating a flip that I have in here. And let me see if I can find it. It is going to be this. And what I have done, I've played around with this. I'm going to show you how to make a little envelope. And I don't know if y'all remember in the episode, I want to say 6, I ripped my tag when I had a punch hole in there and I was trying to tie a ribbon on, and I got a little rough. But I didn't want it to go to waste, so I'm going to do something with that here. And get my blue paper there. So I will tell you also what I have done is, put these over here. I actually had this particular fabric already, and when I bought it, I was thinking, I think I was thinking daisies, but that's a sunflower. I'm pretty sure that's a sunflower, that big center. So I'm thinking about using this as in the journal. So that'll be later, not on this video, but I wanted to show you that while I was going to also show you this fabric. Now this one I just recently bought, went to Joann's last week, and I was looking for sunflower fabric, and I found this. Okay, isn't that pretty? So many cute little goldfinches with your little sunflowers, and I just loved it, so I thought, oh, I could work with that. It would be not only pretty for a either one of these would be pretty for like a cover, a journal cover, and also elements in it. So what I did, I got me some Pellon, one-sided Pellon, iron-on, where I could iron it onto, it just kind of cut me a swatch of the fabric out, and then I cut this little guy out of that side there, okay? And I just have, and I thought what that would do is help keep the fabric from fraying, and I sewed it onto the back side, the bubble side. You'll have this is the smooth side of the Pellon, and then you'll have like a bubbly, kind of a bubbly, rougher side, and you iron the rough side onto the back of the fabric. And so that's going to help just kind of hold that together. And what I thought I would do is I'm going to make a little envelope pocket, and I'll show you how I'm going to do that in a minute. And I thought what I'd do is have this little guy, the stem kind of coming out of the envelope pocket, and have that little guy on there, and I just thought that was pretty. So I'm just going to glue him on there. So let me kind of play with it, and I will tell you what I did. I will tell you what I did with these. This is just scrap paper that I have. I'm going to make a pocket out, or the little envelope pocket out of this blue. I thought that was pretty, and I thought that it would pick up kind of the blue here. And so I thought I would do that. And how I do it, what I did was I played around with it. And I cannot remember, but I saw someone do this. What I did is I made different sizes because I like to do a lot of these flaps, okay? And I think a lot of us out there do. You just have extra journaling space and leave that part open. It's just pretty. And you know, your flap, however you fold it, might be different sizes. So what I thought I'd do is make me like some template envelopes so that I would know. Okay, like this one is a 3.5 by 3.5 inch square when I started it. So I just cut 3.5 inch square, and then I'll show you how I put all that together and make an envelope. This one probably fits it pretty good. Then I did one that's 3.25 square. Okay, so just a square. And then I did, what did I do? A 3 inch square. I made an envelope out of it. And so that way, if I do different size flaps, I'll know what, I can just use these as templates later. I'll just hold on to them, and then when I'm journaling, I'm like, well, what size would I need to make this? And I think I had this one down because it was the 3.25, because that way you could also see. Let me check this one out, the 3.5, because the 3.5 probably fits it the best. And you can see it, still see a little bit of my edging. I think that was my concern. I didn't want my little decorative edge to be hidden, the punch edge that I did. So I may go with that one. I think I was going to do this one because I could see even more of it. So now I don't know. Decisions. I think I'll do the larger one. I'm going to do the 3.5 template. All right, so what that means, and this is the color I wanted to use, and so what that means is I will be cutting a square, 3.5 by 3.5 inch square out of this. So I've got my cutter over here. Let me do that, and I'm right here beside it. I'm not leaving you, and I hope you're staying with me. So let's see. So 3.5. By 3.5. I still have me some fun little scraps if I want to use it anywhere else in the journal. That's what I do. I just start cutting away at things as I go. So I have a 3.5 by 3.5 inch square. And then what I'm going to do, and now, you know, we have the envelope punches. And I know not everybody has them. And so that's why I thought it would be neat like this. If you didn't have one or didn't want to drag it out or whatever, you could make you a little envelope, and you could just make it small as you want. So you could do a 2 by 2 inch square and then make an envelope out of that and just get them smaller and smaller. That peppermint tea is so good. And so what I'm going to do is just find my center. I'll flip it on the back, and I just find my center. And so I'm just going to find that corner there to this corner. And I'm just going to draw a small little line like that should cover the middle. And then I'm going to flip it this way and do the same thing. And this is going to help me find my center. So where these little the pencil marks intersect is my center. Okay, so it's right here. So I put a little dot there, and I'm just going to erase this. All right, so now it does not matter, since this is all a square. It does not matter. Let me trim that little edge, it's rough. It does not matter where you start. That's just a little small. Just took a little sliver off of that. Okay, so I'm just gonna fold in this corner to the dot. And like I said, no matter where you start, and then I'm gonna fold in the other one across from it and have them just meeting there at that little dot. Okay? And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to take my ruler and just kind of, I'm just really eyeballing it basically. I'm going to do about, like here on the sides, I'm going to take my ruler and kind of do, I could line it up if I wanted to. And maybe do about 1/4 of an inch, if that makes sense. So just kind of, you can eyeball it if you want to, or you can just kind of come in and do about 1/4 of an inch of space from this little blue section, okay? So come down these straight sides, that's a better way of saying it. Come down the little straight edge about 1/4 of an inch, okay? And I'm just gonna fold it up and crease it. And then I can fold it the rest of the way. And so that's the bottom of your envelope right there. Now, another thing you can do, I don't always like that little piece there, the sharp, oh, let me go on and we'll finish folding it. That's what we'll do. So then you can just fold this one flush. You just fold it just flush, you know, you don't have to do like 1/4 and it'll cover it. But because you did that 1/4, you came up a little higher and this piece comes up higher, so it will definitely close and cover the envelope completely. So now you have like a little envelope. So what I like to do with this piece is I'll put a dot with my pencil where it intersects with this side flap, and a dot on the other side where it intersects with this side. And so then what I'm going to do is open it up, and I just take my I line my ruler up from dot to dot, and then I just crease it. And then I know that I can fold that in. And then when you lay it flat, it just looks like a neat little envelope there. So what I like to do is I'll go on and glue that. That little teeny flap. Now, if you want to go ahead and erase your little dot there, that works. Just keep everything neat, and then what I can do is ink it. So I did not come up with making a perfect square. We do that with our little envelope punch that we use. We do that. We start with a square by square. So it's a square piece of paper. It just depends on the size paper that you use that determines how large your envelope is going to be. But I did see a video of meeting these edges, like that, and I cannot remember. It's been a long time since I've seen that and everything, and so then I just kind of did it the way I did it with my ruler, and then putting that piece down. So let me ink this. I'm going to ink it on the inside and on the outside. And so when I was gathering and making my templates, I was just messing with some of the measurements. I'll just have it handy on my desk. The other thing you could do if you wanted to is measure your flap and kind of get a list of sizes, because this particular size is fitting about a 2.5 inch width for my little flap, and I'm doing the 3.25 or the 3.5, which fits it more flush. So you can make yourself like a little list of grid sizes so you'd know exactly what size to cut your square if you wanted to do that. Or you can make your template like I did. Okay, so I have the bottom there like that, and we're gonna just glue it like we always do. Let me do my, kind of ink it up on this side too. The parts you'll see. So fold those in and then get my glue on. And I'm just going to glue this little part here. And I could have glued that right there too. It's all right though, that'll hold. And then, ooh, I like to do my creases too, so that when you open it, it's got an aged look as well. All right, so I've got my envelope. The other thing, before I put my envelope down, I think I'm gonna do, remember this sad little tag, so sad. That was a shame that happened in that video, and I just decided I would make something and fix it later, which is what I'm doing now, and utilize it. And I went on and made another tag, and I just thought, well, I'll use that for something. And I thought it would be neat to do a little butterfly shape here to help keep this flap closed. So that's what I'm going to do. And here's this is Martha Stewart. It's a butterfly, and I like to kind of keep, if you're holding it like that, where the butterfly is facing up, that way you can guide it in. I hope I can guide this tag in, because I don't have a tail, and I might have to actually glue it on a tail. Let me do that. I'll show you. Glue it on a piece of paper that will help you, like a little strip like that. And what I'm gonna do is I'm just going to glue it a little at the bottom. No, I can't glue it. I know what I'll do. I'll use my washi tape. It worked the other day when I was backing it, but this I'll use my washi tape. Okay. So this will just kind of help me got it in, and now I have I can kind of move it around. So what I'm going to do, I can hold on to it and actually guide it in there the way I need to. So what I was going to do is I get it where I like the design that's on my butterfly. Let's see. That's kind of pretty. There we go. Uh-oh, did I cut too low? There we go. Oh, that's that extra paper. Okay, so there's my butterfly. See? And I might, if I have a smaller punch of something else, or I could do a big circle or something, I could utilize that some more. So I'll put that to the side. And let's ink this butterfly up. I don't think I'm gonna put, I don't know if I will or not. I don't think I'm gonna put antennas on this one. But what I'll do, or I could, let's see. I do like to put antennas on my, so what will happen is that will be like that. Let's do the antenna, because you gotta make it complete. You don't have to do it, but you gotta make it complete. So what I'm gonna do, since I'm gonna add that, is I'm gonna punch out. The thicker that is, I've already backed it. It had already been backed with coffee dye paper. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna fold this coffee dye paper over. And I think I'm gonna be able to get another butterfly, 2 other little butterflies out of that. And I'm gonna glue them together. My glue is glopping. My finger. I can't get that glue off my finger. Oh my God. Okay. 2020. And you'll know what that means if you watch the last episode. Oh my gosh. Okay, so what I'm gonna do is make this antenna, and this is my super line cord. I've done this in an earlier episode, and put these antennas on this butterfly, and I just try to arrange them where they're kind of going out away from each other. And I think what I'm gonna do, oh, that's too gloppy. I'm just gonna put my glue is glopping something fierce, 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 fierce. Volcano action going here. Okay, so what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna put that right there, and then I'm gonna bend this just so I can kind of control it a little bit. I'm gonna hold that down so I can get my antenna going in the right direction. You know what? I'm not gonna do that. I'm gonna do what I did a while ago that made it a whole lot easier. And I know I could use some of that washi tape, actually. I could do that, or cut a little strip and put it over it. That actually worked out really well. I did that a while ago. And Carol Laws gave me that idea when she saw me struggling with this in my first episode. And normally all I do is I piddle with it myself, and so you're not on camera. You know, when I'm piddling around, I'm not on camera, and you're not seeing the good and the bad and the ugly. And when you're on camera, you're seeing everything. So it can go downhill fast on camera. As you can see, everything's sticking to me now. So what I'm gonna do is get my little antenna again. But Carol gave me that idea and said you could take, she said, what about some washi tape to just put over it? So that made me think this little strip would work too. Just a little strip of paper like that to kind of hold that in place so I'm not struggling with it so much. So you see how much better that went. If you watch my earlier episode, I was struggling. And like I say, I struggled more than I do even when I'm actually not on camera. I struggled more. That, you know how it is. It's not going to happen unless you're on camera, and that's when everything's going to go crazy. So then I'm going to cinch that down with the back of this, because this is going to make that little tab sturdier to keep that envelope flap down. And just kind of make sure my glue is dispersed. And so that was a great idea, Carol, and I just used extra, she suggested washi tape, that would work, and that, or just a little piece of scrap offcut there, and that made a big difference in fussing around and fiddling around with those antennae. So now, so we'll look and see what this will look like. I'm gonna put his little wing. I think I'm gonna do it like that. Yeah. And then this is going to be on here. So I'm going to put the butterfly on there like that. But what I'll do first is, you know, when I make the antenna, I do the little ends with some stickles. So I'm going to put, I think I'm going to do blue, just to emphasize the blue envelope. And I just glop it on and get a little bulb of the stickle glue, glitter glue on there. And then I set it aside and let it dry. That's what I do. And I've got another one over here drying, and I think I keep knocking him off, but I think I made him before the camera, and I'm gonna show you what I'm gonna do with him in a little bit. So I think I'm gonna put this little guy over here to dry. Okay. So now what we're gonna do, and I think I'm gonna use my Fabri-Tac to glue on the bird, and I'll go on and get my envelope on here too. So I'm gonna do that. I'm gonna put my envelope on first because I want the stem to be tucked up under. So I'll go on and just get my envelope on first, and I'm gonna make a pocket out of it. So I'm gonna glue it on 3 sides, the bottom and the sides, and that's how we're gonna do that. So you can still see a little bit of my flap over here where you can see my decorative edge punch, and that's what I wanted. And then you've got your little envelope there. And now for this part, I want the stem of my sunflower kind of down in there a little bit. How high do I want this? So I'm gonna want that to go. It's kind of cute, isn't it? Ooh, I like that. Right where that is perfect. Okay, so what I may do, since that's so perfect, see, I really had it about to just be on that little texture line in the paper, so that's going to be my gauge. So I'm just putting this Fabri-Tac on the Pellon interfacing, and I'm just going to glue it down. So this was new for me. I've not done one like this where I had the just glued a fabric motif down like that. And like I said, I did use the Pellon because I do think that, along with the glue, is probably going to help this keep it from fraying, the fabric from fraying. Okay. All right, so my little bird his little head was about, yeah, about like that. Okay. And then I don't think I've put any glue on that yet. Pretty cute, isn't he? Sitting on a sunflower. So then I'll do the stem. And then I'll tuck that little stem down under here. And probably what I should have done, I know what I should do. Peel that up. And then we'll do that. I kind of wanted that coming in a little bit, like curving. Yeah, like that. Okay, so then put this glue back on here, and then we're good. I should have just eyeballed my envelope first, but you know, you work it out. You work it out. So that's what we're gonna do. So there you have that. And I may have to go in and kind of touch some of this up, if, you know, just a little bit. But right now we're just going to go with that. And then when I get done, my tips of my antenna dry, then I will put this down there as well. So that's what we have for that little flap. And then the other thing that I was going to put, I think I'm going to sew around this quote, which says, despite knowing they won't be here for long, they still choose to live their brightest lives, sunflowers. And that's from Rupi Kaur. I don't know if I'm saying that name right, but that's a quote there. And once that dries, I will be able to tuck this little quote in there. And then I'll have my butterfly, and that is my little layout there. And I thought that was a lot of fun. So I'm going to put that to the side, waiting for everything to dry. Okay, so moving right along, we're going to do, I think what I was going to do was prep my center. I think what I'm going to do for my center is have this as a little tuck, and then I'll have this envelope there. And I think that's all I'm going to do for my center, unless something else strikes me. So let me prep this and get it ready. I'm going to back it on my coffee dye paper like I've been doing, and I'm going to have it all ready for sewing. Once I get all my elements done, what I will do is go along and I'll just take my book and I set it on a little desk next to me, and I sit and just sew everything all at one time. And do this while I'm inking. I'll go on and ink my envelope too. Okay, and what I may do, which is also kind of fun to do, before I glue this down, put a little more on the outside here. Such a pretty envelope from Andrea's kit. Love that little bingo card. And what I was thinking about doing, just to kind of knock some of the white off of that, I thought I might maybe do a little bit of flower stenciling there, which means I gotta put this butterfly somewhere else. Let's see. Okay. So I'm using the evergreen bough, and I'm just gonna do a real light, just enough that just up around the flap, inside of the flap, just to knock some of the white off, but it's real subtle and make that pretty. That's a didn't do too heavy on that. Isn't that pretty? So just real subtle there. And I am going to close this particular envelope up. So I'm going to do, that way when you could keep them open. I've done this before where I've kept it open, and you could, I could do that. Because I think I've closed my other ones, haven't I? Closed my other ones, so I could. I don't think I will, but what you could, yeah, I will. I will. Don't y'all love my decision making? I know it's probably driving y'all crazy. I made my tag the other day, and it was like, or yesterday, and it was like, oh my gosh. My little Frankentag took forever, but it was just kind of fun to play around with it. So y'all were probably maybe yelling at the camera, put it down, stick it there, that's fine. And me and my decision making or lack thereof. That. So I'm going to do just a little right here, just a little. And just a smidge here. Just so it's not left out, and then do this. There we go. And I think I'll do some little center there. Perfect. So what you can do now, I'll just leave this envelope open and it'll be folded and tucked behind my bingo card, and I'm going to back the bingo card. So yeah, I'll just leave it open. So I just made it really, really pretty on the inside, and you can journal on the inside of that. And then it's been inked and edged and all of that. So we will do that. And if I wanted, which I will have to see, I could maybe put something that keeps it closed, but technically the bingo card is going to keep it closed. So let's back that. So now the sun's coming out. I hope y'all can see that. Let me see if I can readjust my blinds so that we don't have that speckled sun going on. Let's see. There we go. And I hope you can stand up and make sure you can see me. Yeah. The sun is nice, but it just throws a lot of shadows and shading on it. Just cut this out. And very good. So now I have this ready to go, and it'll be ready to be sewn. And I'm going to kind of make a little tuck right here, and then my envelope can just be tucked right in here, and you can just see the sunflowers, and then that'll be the center of my signature. Might put a little lace up here or something when I do my embellishing. All right, so that's prepped and ready to go. And then what is our next thing? I'm going to do an overlay, and I want to make my overlay. I usually add at least one, sorry about the camera, to my journals now. I'll just like to do that. And I think I'm going to do an overlay on this one, this page here, because I just felt like it needed a little something. Here is one of her beautiful images, so you can see that beautiful page from the kit. I toss that doily in there. Okay, so I'm going to use, in the kit there was this, and so probably this was 2 little journal cards together. You could cut them in half and make journal cards out of them. You can fold it and have this as like a little booklet. I'm going to cut them up to make my overlay because I want one image on this side and then I want one image on that side. so that's what I'm gonna do. And she's got a nice little vintage edged seam there between them, so I'm just gonna use that as my guide for cutting. And we'll re-ink that. I know sometimes when I'm looking through my journal pages and I'm flipping through and flipping through, I mean, there's times that I'll be flipping, and nothing's coming to me, and that is really frustrating, and I guess that happens to all of us, I'm sure. I'm gonna put this one here. That background of this is similar to this, and I just thought that was pretty. And then this one seems pretty on the other side. So that is what I'm gonna do with these. And to make my overlay, I just have me another piece of paper, and y'all can see I use this paper like crazy. My copied up papers, I use them up like crazy. So, trying to see which page I like the best. I think I'll do this one. Okay, and so my little thing's getting dirty. So I think what I'm gonna do is work from the long way of the page, of the paper here, because that'll give me more room. And I'm gonna start with this one, and I'm gonna fold this at some point and flip this one upside down so that when I fold it, you know, it will, and I look at it, each one will be right side up for whatever page you're looking at. I hope that made sense. And what I'm gonna do here, and if I don't like it, I can always cut it off. I'm gonna leave a little bit of room. Let me move my delicious tea. So I'm gonna move, let's see, I'm gonna leave a little tab here of paper because I'm probably gonna edge punch it, because that's kind of a pretty thing to do. Give a lacy little bottom to it. So let's let you see what I'm talking about. And like I say, if I don't like it, I can always cut it off. Just does not matter, but I just kind of eyeball about that. And then if I come along with this, I may do something different. Normally that's a lot of times what I'll do is I'll butt this up to that like that, and then when I fold it right here, you have your little overlay. But what I might do is put a pocket on the other side. So I might not glue this, and I'll just play with the other side when we get to it. So just to have another interest, you know, another interesting little element. So there we go. And I think that will give I think this gives enough room for my, I'm going to use that, it's a Martha Stewart. I don't know the name of it, but I'm going to use that one down here on that edge. So that's what I want to do. And I think that'll be good. Let me just test it. Yeah. Yeah. I think that'll work. All right, so now what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna cut this off and just have the strip to work with. So let's do that. I gotta move my tea again. Keep moving my tea. Okay. All right, so see what I have? I just have my little strip, and this was my offcut, okay? So just cut that off. And while I'm thinking about it, I'm going to go on and try this and see what it looks like. And might have, let me see. Trying to decide, let's see how. See how it looks. Oh, that's perfect. That works out good. I'll ink that. Kind of looks nice. Do the back. Okie doke. And then what I'm going to do is I am going to go ahead and fold this so I'll know how much paper I have to work with on the other side. And I just try to get it as lined up as much as I can because I'm okay not to see any of the white on the top, you know, hanging over the page. Okay, so you can see how this is going to work. It'll be like that. Okay, I just thought that little bit of a lacy edge there just kind of brightens that page up a little bit, just gives it a little contrast. And so then on the other side, we're going to do something with this, okay? And what I might have to do, let me think this through. Probably should, yeah. This would, I was going to do a pocket. There's so many things you could do, y'all. Look, I could actually make a pocket. I was going to do a paper, like something colorful, which I still may do. So let's work this out. But my little thing might need to be, if it's going to fit in a pocket, it's going to need to be a little bit smaller so that it'll fit. Or instead of that, I could sew this or glue it on and make this a pocket and put something in here. I think that's what I'm gonna do. Now see, that just came to me because I was gonna do some sort of fold this up and just make another little pocket and tuck this card in to the pocket. But on looking at it and playing with it and putting it on the page like that and having this longer, that made me think of this. So I make that the pocket. So you know what I do if I make pockets, right? I double it because I don't want you to have a weak pocket. We're not going to have any weak pockets. We're going to have strong pockets. They're going to be able to hold their own. They're going to be able to hold a tag or some little pretty picture, some sort of ephemera. Okay. So I'm just going to back this. I think that will be cute. Kind of be an interesting hanging pocket there. So let me cut this. I've had so much fun with this series, I really don't know if I'm ever going to want to make a journal again all by myself. It's fun being on camera and just chatting away and talking to you guys like I'm crafting with friends. And so, that'll be fun. So you know what I'm going to do? Now, that's going to dry, and what I'll do is sew around that before I turn it into a pocket and put it on there for a pocket, okay? So what I'm going to do is just paper clip this, and then I'll be making decisions as to how to decorate this up here, maybe a little of a background and what to put in it, okay? So that is where we are with that, okay? So that's going to be a pocket. That's just a little overlay. And when you can open this and you can journal on it, okay? So that's elements like that are a lot of fun, you know? And I'm going to paper clip that on. so you have that. And then, now, yeah, I have to be careful on my paper clips because they do get stuck on each other sometimes. I love that. It's fun. And that gives you, this gives you a textile, you know, tactile to have. And just, this part of what makes journals so fun, I tell you. So then we have that, my overlay, and that's interesting. And like I said, I've got to figure out what to put in this pocket and how I might want to kind of decorate this a little bit, whether stamping or stenciling, and like I say, what to put in it. So moving right along, let's get to my next project. I was going to work on this a few episodes ago, and 2 episodes ago, and that's when I kind of, everything was not going as planned. So here, I just have some little scraps I've gathered of things that I wanted to do, and these are 2 of Andrea's little journal cards and elements in her kit, which are beautiful. And when I saw her, I thought, you know what, I bet she is a vintage sunflower queen in the parade. So I'm gonna kind of create a page around that little premise, and I've got some plans for these little pieces of paper. So this was my calendar, and I think what I had not done was I didn't bring my little alphabet stamp set with me the other day, and so instead of padding off and going into my room and leaving y'all all by yourselves, I said I'll do it later when I can be a little more organized. So this was a calendar page that I used, which I thought was a lot of fun. And it's from an old planner that I had, and I just thought that would really be neat to put into your journals as extra paper to journal on or write on. And you can cover this up if you want, or just leave it there because it's just kind of unique. But it's August of 2017, and I thought it's fine to leave it like that if you wanted to too, but I think what I'm going to do is cover this up and make a pocket down here. So I have already backed this little strip of paper, and I believe I've already measured it too, so it'll fit. So I'm just going to cut the excess paper off. Little Figgy's wanting to get up. Lay down, Figgy. And then I'm going to get my other little edge punch. So what I'm going to do is put this here. I might not edge punch that because I'll probably put lace on it. And I'll tell you why, because if I edge punch it, I didn't think that through. I actually didn't know if I was going to edge punch it or not. Now that I've decided to do that, I realize if I edge punch, then that's going to poke through, and I don't want that showing through. So I won't edge punch it, and after all, I will add lace to that later. So let me get it inked, and I'm probably going to sew around that. So again, I'll be paper clipping. Everything stays paper clipped in my journals until I'm ready to sew the elements, and then I can just put them right back where they are. And then after I've sewn everything, I sit at my desk and glue them all in. So that's what I do. That's how I do it. So, get my paper clips. So I know that that's going to be there, and that is going to be my pocket. And I wanted to put my sunflower queen in there, and then I thought that was pretty and striking. And then I want to make a cute little something here. And I think what I was going to do was stamp out Sunflower Queen. And you know, I don't know. I might be able to decorate it with those little offcuts from my stamp that I did yesterday in episode 7. Then you get to playing with stuff and you think, well, would that make a cute little pocket right there? Yes, it would. I don't know. Gotta think on that. And I have a quote here that I had also thought of adding, but I may not. I still have 2 quotes left, but we'll see. We'll always add that later if I want to. So I do think I want that in there, and I'm going to go on and back that. And then I got to figure out how I want to decorate this little fun piece of paper there. So let's ink it. But every little thing you do, every little step that we do gets us closer and closer to filling our journal up and making it beautiful, making it come together. I use this piece instead. And I always look to see what side of the paper I like the best. Probably, will that fit? That is perfect. Perfect fit there. Wise use of paper. So I might, ooh, I didn't think about that. I might end up stamping out, and I don't have my numbers with me, but I might do a Sunflower Queen of what, 1925, or I could do a year. I could name her. I'm sure she was a Sunflower Queen. She is quite popular. She's probably already been the Sunflower Queen 3 years in a row. Okay, so that's backed and it'll be ready for sewing as well to fit in my pocket. Put another paper clip on there. And my kitty cat's getting out. You get to see Figgy. This is Figgy. Let's see if I can show you his face. Can you see his little face? Say hey. Let me put Figgy up. I thought he'd be all right to stay in there. He was taking a nap in a box, but he woke up. So I'm glad you got to see a little bit of Figgy. That's my little buddy right there. Okay, so got lots of little scraps out here. So that was a very colorful page when I get done with it. All right, so what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna punch this. And then I'll ink it. I'm just folding it over. And I am going to use my little punch here. Sure I got it even. All right, and then I'm going to punch. So, you know, I know some people make videos that are like really long, and just when they're crafting, it's hard for them not to go a long way because you're trying to get enough done. And I know some people either like or don't like long videos. But, you know, as long as you're getting stuff done, I'm kind of like, yeah, let's get this done. Let's get this journal done. It's like these really are like craft with me's. I know these videos are like a craft with me. So, which I think are fun. I like to watch other people's, and I hope you're enjoying this series. Alrighty, so I got that all inked up, got it punched, and where I'm going with this is I wanted to tuck it, like I wanted to kind of tuck it in my pocket and have it kind of sticking out, kind of hanging over like that. Just thought that was fun. So I'm gonna have Sunflower Queen, and I think I'm gonna do 19, I'll pick a date, 1918? I'll pick a date later because I don't have my number stamps with me, but right now I'm gonna do, I just use little scrap pieces to stamp on, and I'm gonna do Sunflower Queen. So let's pull those out and stamp this. I like to just do freehand stamping, and it doesn't bother me. I try to get it pretty even. It doesn't overly bother me if it's a little off because I think that makes it look quaint and handmade. So I'm just going to pull out Sunflower Queen. So we have S, U, I think that's U. N, there's N. And then I have F. The neat thing about doing a video series like this is you get to see what it's really like, the time that it takes, the thought that goes into it, of making a journal. And again, no, you don't have to do one as detailed as this one. You can do whatever you want. You can do as little or as much as you want to do. You know, I like the fact that there's no rules, that you can just do what you want to do. Okay, I finally got sunflower, excuse me, and then I have my E, so I've got to get my Q. I think this is my Q. So Q, U, E, E, N. So I've got the rest of them out in sunflower. Okay, and I'm just going to use my distress ink for this. It'll be in brown, kind of make it vintage looking. And then I just stamp Sunflower Queen out. So let me start here. And if I have to do a couple of times, that's okay too. S, U, N, F, L, O, W, E, R, and then queen. I'm gonna give myself some space because I'm probably gonna edge that with fancy scissors of some sort. So I'll do Q, U, E, E, and N. There we go. So I've gotten better at doing this freehand like that. Kind of, when I first started, I had a hard time, but then you start learning how the little stamps are adhered to your little wood pieces, and you start getting a feel for how close you need to kind of come in next to the stamped image that you've already done next to it. So it makes it a little easier just practicing with that, and that's always fun to have. Just an extra fun little element to do, hand stamping like that with words. You can, of course, hand stamp any word you want out there. I will figure out what I want for my, what year I want this to be for her to have been crowned Sunflower Queen. So I'm using my little postage stamp design decorative edge scissors. And I'm gonna try to be as straight as I can. Make sure I don't mess up my queen. Let me do, ooh, that's cutting it close, okay. Didn't go over enough, but anyway, let me, that. So that's pretty good, and I may have to, sunflower, and I have to still decide if I want to do one of those little things for fun, just my guest check thing over here. Maybe fun. Or do I just want to do this and say Sunflower Queen and decorate it with some flowers? Still gonna decide. Okay, I think I'll just do my wordies. My little wordies. And I might take a little bit off here. Make it a little bit thinner. And these are my scraps, okay. Oh, and then I'm gonna ink this. Now Figgy's crying, bless his heart. He likes to be in here with me, and it's so sweet. And let's see, yeah, so I'm gonna do Sunflower Queen. And, Date. Person, date, check number. I could put all this on another little piece of paper and pop it with some color. So let's do, I'm gonna do persons, leave that part on. Come out just a little here. All right, so I'm gonna use my little tabletop trimmer here and just trim a little of that off because I do think I'm gonna use this. I'm just flying by the seat of my pants right now. I'm just kind of playing like I would if you weren't here. But you are here, I hope. I hope you're here. And that one is good right outside that line, so let's do that. Should do it. Fit. And I'm gonna make this a little teeny tiny tuck. That's what I'm gonna do with that little tab off of my guest check from earlier. I'm gonna ink it. Kind of age it up a little bit. Might even add a little extra color to it. And then I'm gonna glue this and make a little pocket out of it. Try to put very little glue because I want, you know, that pocket to be able to be used. I'm gonna line it up with that line there, just kind of put it at the base. So then I have me a little pocket. That's cute. Okay, I'm loving it. I'm loving it. I hope you are. Okay, that is really, 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 really cute. Okay, let that dry. And then I'm going to, now what I thought I would do, I'm gonna shorten this because I'm gonna actually put these guys on a piece of paper. I'm gonna back them so they'll pop. I feel like they're kind of getting lost a little bit, so that's okay there. And so what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna make a little fits. See if I can do this. See how much I need. I'm gonna see how much paper will fit there. That might not pop enough. How about this yellow green? I don't know. Sunflower. Queen. Well, I still have my blue. I think I do. See where I'm going with that? My little kitty. He's so sad. He wants to come back out here. And if I thought he would, he probably would get back in his little box so he would be contained, so to speak. Bless his little heart. Now I'm wondering if I just need to like stamp on this, but I think I am gonna do this. And I also think what I'm gonna do is maybe put some, when I embellish this, I think I'm gonna put some eyelash trim underneath it or some cheesecloth. So I think that's what I'm gonna do. Okay, so what I'm gonna do first is I will just put a small dab of glue. Now if I had my stuff in here with me, and since I'm kind of planning this as I go, I don't have all of that in here. And I do try to plan, you know, before I do a segment or an episode, I try to kind of plan what I'm gonna do with you guys. So I have the stuff that I need. That's what I try to do. So on this, I'm just putting a little dot of glue in the middle to hold those on there, and I can run some eyelash trim underneath it later and then glue it down the rest of the way. But I'll do that in my embellishing section. So let's see if this will work. I hope this works. It might not. Let's see. That's cute. That is so cute. And I don't care if it sticks up a little bit because it makes it interesting. So I'm gonna do this, this. I'm so glad somebody discovered junk journaling and journal making so that I came along and found it, because this is a lot of fun. Lots of fun. So you see what I did here. I created another, this is a little extra space for journaling, and this is, see? Just little fun little elements that you can put together. And like I say, that will be more decorative later, but I love making that little pocket there with that little strip from my guest check. And then what I will do, this will have more color around it, so don't you fear. And then I will have it in my pocket, kind of hanging out like that. And it will not have the paper clips there, won't have that paper clip. And then it'll just be little journal cards that you have and some little writing places and spaces that you have. And I actually love that, and I love that. I'm glad I did that. The other thing that I'm gonna do, since I'm on this page, is I wanted to stencil this a little bit. I'm not gonna do a lot, just a very little bit of stenciling. So, I'm just gonna pull that page out, and I will get my little flower. I don't want, like I said, I don't want a lot. I just want a hint of a flower. And I kind of carry, I'll pick out maybe 2 stencils usually with my journals, and I'll kind of carry that stencil throughout the journals. That's kind of what I do as I go. And that's how I end up decorating with my stencils. So what I thought I would do is this little flower here, and this one here, just a little bit up there, and then one down here. I'm gonna take this paper clip off, and I'm gonna do one down here, just real subtle, just enough to give the page some interest. Okay, so that's all I'm gonna do for that. And then these were paper clipped, so I gotta sew them, so that's why they're still paper clipped. It's always fun to get all my paper clips out after I've sewn all my elements and then go through and actually adhere things down, tuck things in, and get all of my get everything in the book like it needs to be. There you go. And so this was in my little tuck and it kind of fell out. So there we are. So there we are with that. That's going to be fun. And I still may, when I embellish, do some sort of little fun thing with the year that she was the Sunflower Queen. What year is it? 1918, 1917, 1907. I want an odd number. I do like odd numbers, so do that. But I love that. And then what I was going to do, since I'm on this page, is I'm going to end up doing, I'm gonna glue that down or sew that down. I may just sew it, not worry about gluing it first. And I'll embellish this in another video, but this is where I decided that I want to have my guest check sitting, and I just thought that was pretty. Just really, really pretty. And it'll be a floating pocket is what it's going to be. And so I will decorate that at a later time in a future video. And the other thing I'm going to do, my light is going, so I'm going to do one last thing with you, and then we'll be tying this little, it'll be a wrap. It'll be a wrap for this. I made a butterfly that I wanted to make a tuck out of earlier for you, and I was letting the stickles dry. I actually did blue to pick up the blue in this butterfly. This is also in Andrea's kit, along with this beautiful image there. I show the whole kit in its entirety at the beginning of the series. So what I wanted to do, I'm going to take that paper clip off, and since this is all ready to go, I am going to use it as a little butterfly tuck. That's what I wanted to do. So I was going to have my little butterfly here in the corner and have it so that I could tuck my little tag up under it. So when I do things like that, I have to be careful, like where I put the glue, and I might just do some glue on that wing and some glue on that wing and maybe a little there. We'll see. I'll try these two wings first. That's what I'll do. I'm going to try the top wings. So let's do that. And what I'll do is I'll just pull this out since my book is getting chunky. I have a feeling that my journal is going to tell me it's finished pretty soon. Like I say, we may have wrapped up just about all the elements and be ready to get to our embellishing part. So I'm just going to do a little dab of glue on the tips of each wing. And we'll start there and just see how that serves as a tuck. My little Figgy is just crying away. I hate he got up. Probably just wanted to get him some water, and then he was probably going to come right back, but and I'm thinking my tag will slip right through there, and it'll hold. So that is going to be like my second to the last page. And I just thought that was pretty. So that's what we're going to do there. So let me put the rest of the book in. And that will be there. So I'm going to let it dry, but my little tag will just stick there. Okay. We got a lot done today. We really did. And today for me, today went smoother, which I'm glad for. And I was able to get a whole lot more done. So I hope you enjoyed this. I hope you enjoyed some of the elements that I created. And like I say, probably the next one is going to be mostly embellishing and trying to decorate. And what I may do between now and the next episode is sew the things that I can go ahead and sew and I'll glue them in. And if you want to watch me glue them in and see how I do it, I may go on and do it anyway, just because that's all a part of it. And I know there's some part of me wants to do some stuff off camera so that I don't bore you to death, because I do know many of you are already journal makers. You already know things, but some people that are starting out might not know or how to do it or how to go about it. So I think I will try to sew many of the elements that are ready to go, that I could go ahead and start adhering down to the pages and get them all set up and take some of these paper clips out. So anyway, like I say, I hope you are enjoying this process. We are making headway, guys. We're getting close. Okay, so I hope you'll hang in there with me and see it to the end. And I'll be talking to you later. Bye.